Today I fucked up by using peppermint oil to repel spiders. So, a little backstory. The last couple of nights I've been visited by those medium-sized all-black spiders in my bed, on my pillows, walls. There were webs all over my room. So I did some research and saw that peppermint oil was great for getting rid of the spiders. So, now we skip to today. I went to the pharmacy, bought peppermint oil, and when I came home I grabbed the bottle and almost emptied it out everywhere. On my bed, my walls, ceiling, pillows, like literally everywhere, and the bottle is pretty much empty now. But then the smell hit me. The pain was real. Every time I took a breath my nostrils hurt so much, like they're actually on fire. And then the pain went to my eyes. I can barely open them without it feeling like they're being carved out of my face with a fork or something. But hey, at least the spiders are gonna leave my room. Well, I hope so anyway. Too long did not read. I went to the pharmacy, bought peppermint oil to repel spiders. Emptied the bottle everywhere. Now my entire face hurts when I enter the room. Edit. After doing some research on common house spiders, I found one that looks like the one that was haunting me. The name is Tegenaria domestica. If you have a severe phobia of spiders, don't Google the name. And #X200B. Something similar happened to me. Cleaned my car and noticed my AC was smelling a bit musty. Cabin air filters were clean, so I dabbed some peppermint oil on them before reinserting and taking the car for a spin to air out. The second I clicked the AC on, the windshield was swarmed with thousands, literally thousands of baby spiders, apparently repelled by the oil. They were pouring out of the vents and defrosters straight toward my face and all over my arms. I was somehow able to get the car off to the side of the road and nope TF out of there, but the memory haunts my dreams. So the way you do it is to put it on some cotton balls and throw them near your doors, entryways. I've never known them for spiders, but I know it works for mice in my outdoor storage areas. I once heard the tale of a man who was instructed to scent his house by putting a teaspoon of vanilla extract into the oven. Yeah, so he heard 1 cup instead. House smelled like a vanilla refinery for 2 weeks. IIRC. One spider in my room is cause for a freak out. 2 of them, especially on my pillow, means I'm burning my house down for the insurance money and starting over. Op is a spider. Today you learned you are more like Peter Parker than your normal self. That sucks. Off topic though, peppermint oil surprisingly helps me with headaches. I am not huge into essential oils, but I gotta say it does way more than migraine scripts or OTC headache meds. You were supposed to water it down. Today I fucked up by my girlfriend finding out I'm not circumcised. So this happened about 9 years ago, but the memory still lives vividly in my mind. I had been dating my now wife for about 2 years and had a healthy sex life and relationship. We ended up going to my mom's house for dinner one night, and the subject of circumcision came up. How? We were pregnant at the time, and the topic just popped up. Being European, my mom was quick to let my American girlfriend know that I'm not circumcised, and that she was completely against it. As my mom finishes her rant, I look over at my girlfriend, and can't help but notice her absolute look of disgust. With my mom being there, I decide to not say anything to make things more awkward. As we are driving home, I remembered a conversation we had when we first started dating, where she had mentioned something about only wanting to date circumcised men. I figured she made an exception with me as my eggplant is pretty large, making it hard to tell I'm not circumcised. We ended up talking about it, and she said it just caught her off guard. I could tell she was lying, but I was sonsick of talking about my penis, haha. A week later, I decided to initiate sex. I wanted to wait a few days to give her time to process the new info. So, we started kissing, and she goes to give me oral like she usually does, but this time she starts dry heaving and pukes. On her knees, she looked up at me and said, "I'm sorry, I'm trying. But, the thought of you being uncircumcised." Edit. Together 12 years, married 10 years now, and haven't had oral sex once since. I'm shocked I have to say this, but even in the name of medical study, I will not send you a pic of my Johnson. Please stop blowing my inbox up. You guys are wild, rolling on the floor laughing. Too long did not read. Girlfriend found out I wasn't circumcised after 2 years of dating, refuses to give me oral sex anymore after throwing up. No offense to your wife, but that's so weird, bro. You're saying everything was fine until she was told you were uncut? So, she was fine with it until then? What? Wait, how did she not know you weren't circumcised before if she was pregnant by you? That doesn't make sense. Also, I'm surprised you decided to marry someone who threw up thinking about how she thinks your genitalia is gross. Some women think circumcised penises are cleaner. I think it depends entirely on the hygiene of the penis heaver. I married the guy the first lost my virginity to, and he's uncut, so all I know is turtlenecked peen. Can I just say I think that medically unnecessary circumcision at birth is something that should be done away with? I feel like people should get a say in what happens to their bodies. I don't even have words. I guess it's like people who don't like onions, then suddenly can't eat the food they've been enjoying for the last 10 minutes because they just learned onions are in it. As a woman who isn't attracted to men, even I find it odd that oral sex was all good until she found out you were uncut and then suddenly it's a no-no. It's so weird. If she didn't notice before, what difference would it make after? Strange, I tell ya. She's American, you said? Over here we're all told uncircumcised means dirty, and will give you more infections, and all sorts of other crazy made-up things. I had no idea about the crazy stigmas until I did my research before deciding whether or not to cut my sons. I didn't. I mean, 12 years, and she also barely touches it. She needs to learn real health information about what a foreskin is and how it isn't intrinsically dirty or gross. Especially if it was never an issue before she knew. Ridiculous. Expecting men to be circumcised is disgustingly misandristic. Imagine men expecting their GFS to be mutilated too. Puke. Your girlfriend is a misandristic. Your wife sounds straight up crazy, my guy.